back to another cleaning tutorial. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time. This is the PlayStation 3 Slim, one of the most common PlayStation 3s. And seeing how good the other PlayStation 3 console videos that I've made are doing, I've been wanting to do this for a while, but you know, it's difficult to find one of these for a price that I can afford, since YouTube changed their deals. You know, you need a minimum of 1,000 subscribers in order to put any monetization on your videos. So you know, that's cost me a lot of revenue. But enough of that. I finally got one. So I can finally show you how to take one of these apart. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, one thing that I noticed when I picked this up is, first of all, it does not have the cover for the hard disk, and it's also missing like a lot of the rubber feet on the bottom here, which to me indicates that someone's tried to do something to it. And also it's in a really rough condition. You can see right here, the USB port doesn't look too good. And also it has that distinct sweet smell of cockroaches. So this is going to be a fun video for all. Now, in order to get into one of these, you are going to need 3 types of screwdrivers. You are going to need the T8 hex hollow point. And just to show you here, what that means is it has a little divot in the center for a little pin. So if you had just a normal, like a star hex screw, you know, that pin would be pointing out and you wouldn't be able to put your screwdriver down to it. So T8, this is essential. You're of course going to need just a regular Phillips screwdriver, and you're also going to need a precision screwdriver for the hard disk. So first thing we do is we flip this baby over and take out the screws. Now, as I said, someone's taken away the rubber feet, but there should be 4 rubber feet in total, so 1 in each corner. These 3 have screws underneath, whereas this by the hard disk drive does not. There is no screw underneath this one. So again, it tells me that someone has tried to either access it or something else. The T8 screws are over here, and I don't see any I don't see any markings on these, so I figure whoever tried, you know, did these screws, didn't get any further and gave up. But anyways, we're gonna take them all out. So we'll start with the corner screws. So, and then you also have 4 hidden screws underneath these little feet or covers. So again, if we take our Cobalt detail precision screwdriver, we can just flip that around. We'll get a nice flat point here that we can then pry open these with. Just like that. And since we have this out, we might as well just flip that around and take out the hard drive. And the PlayStation hard drives are connected or held down with a blue screw. So we will just take that out and put that to the side. And normally there would be a cover here, but again, indication that someone's been here. But with that out, we can then flip this handle down and then pull out the hard disk drive. And yeah, that's not looking too good. So you can see here all that grime, and yeah, so we're gonna have to clean that with some compressed air, and then definitely go over the contacts here with a isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip. But yeah, there's a lot of grime on that. Now that we've exposed the other screws, we'll take those out. Just like that. And we'll switch over to the T8, and there are going to be 4 screws right here that we'll have to take out. And you might need some tweezers as well, just to get some of these out. I noticed some corrosion on some of these screws here, so I don't know if this has been wet or if it's just the moisture in the air. But to show you here, you know, that doesn't look too promising, but we'll keep digging down. I actually got this PlayStation for free, so you know, if it isn't working, I'm at least not losing any money over it, but it'll still be a good video just to show you guys how everything is done. So now that we have all the screws out, we can then flip this over again. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift it up. It's actually connected at the front here, so we can take it from the back and then just, you know, like lift it up at an angle and then pull it off. So just like that, and then just lift it up like that. Oh gee. Oh. Well, here's part of your problem. A little bit of cockroaches. As I said, I did send, you know, that wonderful smell, which is now very overpowering. We're gonna throw this in the water, and then you can see what's actually hiding behind here. So yeah. Okay, well, let's get a closer look at that. That is disgusting, and that's your disk drive right there. Yeah. Yeah. So tell you what, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back again, and I normally don't do this, but yeah, this is going to be an exception. So I'm gonna put this on right away because I'd like to live to see another day. There we go. Now I'm sorry if this muffles my voice a little bit, but this is extreme. Yeah, that's good. I mean, there's heavy corrosion on these right here, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, okay, let's dig into this, shall we? So first thing we want to do is take a bath, but we can't because we have to finish this. So instead what we'll do is we'll take out the screws over here by the battery, or not the battery but the power. There's a screw over here as well, so we will take those out. Might not be wanting to come out. It's tight on there. Got it. There we go. And I am already starting to itch all over the place. Yay. So we'll disconnect the power right here, just like that. Do the same over here. So, take this. Just lift that up. So, anyone hungry? I know I am. Woo! So yeah, we're gonna put that to the side. So we'll put that here. I mean, you can even see how, you know, it's going from black to brown. That's how bad that is. And yeah, I'll take out the power here. So that, yeah, that's just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Ugh. And just so you can join in my misery, this is what the backside looks like. So yeah. Okay. Now, with that taken care of, we can start to look at the disk drive and the fan assembly. You'll see the fan assembly here goes over to this connector right here. So we have to disconnect that. We can use just a flathead here just to pry that up a little bit, just to help it along. Because cockroach poop has a tendency of sticking. So, you know, it makes it a little difficult to get the connectors out, but there we go. And then we'll just take this cord and just unwrap it all the way out. Go. Whew. And then take the Phillips screwdriver here again, and there are 2 screws on either side here. So take those out. And just lift that up, and yeah, that's gonna need some cleaning. I'll put you over there, and yeah, look at that. Just look at that. That is nasty, is what that is. Okay. So next we'll have a look at the disk drive over here, and there's going to be a screw at the very back, so we take that out. Like so. And then just lift that up, and let's see here. Oh, Jesus. I'll take that, just flip over a little bit. So, let me flip this over so you can actually see here. There's several ribbon cables at the back here, so once we've taken that screw off, we can then take the ribbon cables as well and just gently lift those up. That, and then that should release the disk drive, except for the very last one, which is underneath here. So there we go. So you can see here where that last one goes in right there. So shit. This is nasty. I don't know if I can fix this, but we are going to give it a try. The good news is that I don't see anything that's destroyed. I don't see any of the cables or wires being destroyed. I just see a lot of grime, and grime we can work with. But you know, there is the chance that along the way they've been eating something. So you know, we'll just put that over there for now. Put this disk drive over here. And then I got this right here, which is connected at the bottom here. So we can then take that out. I'll put you over here. Whoo boy. There's something here that's loose. It's a piece of plastic, which I don't know where that belongs as of yet. So I'll put you over there and figure you out later. And whew, man, that smell. So yeah, we need to put that in some acid water, that's for sure. So let's take these out. We'll switch to the fine tip again. Dropped both of the screws, but oh well. So let's here, take these, and then just take those cords, go all the way down. And you got the connectors here, which will just pop up. So you just take the tweezers. Straight up, just like that. And come on, there you go. Okay, so that's these two. Put you over there for now. Woo-hee. And then take those screws out that I dropped. There we go. And there's another plastic piece right there. It's broken off. And now that that's done, we can continue to go into the abyss here. So we'll take these two screws out on the side here. And then there's another screw over here in the corner. That should be that, I think. Can't remember. And it's hard to think. Nope, there's a screw over here as well, hidden beneath a lot of crap. So we will take that up. Man, it's so hard to think because the smell is just so overpowering. Let's take this off at least. Come on. Oh my God. I'm missing a screw, but where is it? Oh, right here. Ooh. Okay. There you go. I think, was that it? Yeah, that was it. Okay. Okay. Whew. Jesus. Okay. Well, let's see here. That's just urine from the cockroach, basically. That's rusted everything. So yeah, we're gonna clean this, and then later we're gonna put it in vinegar to get the rust off. So throw that in the water for now, and then we'll put this down here. And I mean, look at this. That's, oh my God. Woo! Hey! Well, let's take this off, put that in the water as well. And then throw this whole thing right in the water also. There we go. And we can start cleaning this, or at least try. Well, actually no, I would have to, you know, I have to take this apart as well because, yeah, there's just no way. Oh my God, look at that. Jesus. Whew, okay. Well, let's just do this first, so then we can get every piece of it. So we'll separate the heat shields. And something tells me I have to put new thermal paste on this as well because, yeah, everything needs to be taken care of at this point, it seems. So let's just do this so we can get the heat shield off. Now, the good thing with this is if I can get this working and clean it up and make it look brand new, then I have full faith that you can make yours look good as new. So, you know, it's really not a difficult job. You just can't be afraid. And, you know, just keep going. Just do it one step at a time, and before you know it, you'll be done. And to tell you the truth, I can't wait until I'm done with this. Whew, Jesus Christ. I think that was all the screws. Oh, no, of course not. Actual heatsink screws here. We're just gonna throw everything in the water because it all needs to soak. So, there's just gonna be a residue of cockroach poop and urine on absolutely everything. I mean, even underneath here you can see residue, and you know, these are like squished down so that there shouldn't be a gap, and even so they've managed to actually get through, so you know, there's that. Okay, so now we can take this off, and Jesus, look at that. So throw that in there. Woo boy. And then we have the actual board here. So we will try to separate those. thermal paste actually seems to be on there. Nope, I was lying. There we go. Just be careful with the cord over here. Oh my god. Ooh boy. Yeah. So how's your day going? Mine is going great. This is great, guys. I love this. Yeah. Oh boy. I'm running out of room to put stuff. So let's see. You over there, and you can go over there, and you can go here. Whoo boy. Okay. But yeah, I do need some new thermal paste here, so yes. Okay, well, I'm gonna clear some area here, so I got some stuff to work with, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've decided in order to make room, I'm going to clean this first, the motherboard, because I don't want to pick this up and then put it somewhere else looking like this. So I'm going to use my DataVac electric duster and make a fireworks display of animal pieces. So this is going to be fun. Close your eyes, guys. Okay. And then holy crap. Whew, there's little pieces of crap everywhere here. So let me put this down here, cover up that stuff, and then we can put this down again and go over it with some isopropyl alcohol, or I should say a lot of isopropyl alcohol, just to get rid of the residue. We also need to take off the thermal paste here so that we can apply a new layer. Okay, so that's those pieces taken care of. Now for the rest of the board. So I think I'm just going to start over on this side and then work my way over. Okay, so that's the top part of it done. We still got the bottom piece to go. So yeah, this is going to take some time. I think I might actually run out of Q-tip or isopropyl alcohol before I'm done. But let's go on the other side and do this part as well. At least the bottom piece was a lot quicker than the top piece. Yeah, so that's looking like that right now. I took out the battery over here. I'm going to replace that with a new one because I don't trust anything in this machine at this point. And this is just cockroach urine that has you know, been brought back to life with me cleaning it. So yeah, that was fun. I'm gonna put this to the side and keep on going. That'll give me a little bit more room to work here. So I think the next thing I want to do is I want to open up this, the power supply, because I see there's a lot of stuff in there. So we're going to flip this over, and there's a screw in the middle right here. So we're going to take that out. So, whew, boy. Separate the two halves. It's been a while since I've done this. Oh, right. Let's see. Let's just try to use some tweezers. We've got 2 points right here. So, there, and there's another point right there, and we have a point here. What am I forgetting? Get this screw out. I got cockroaches out. I'm forgetting. Oh no. It was just stuck. But yeah, well, if you wanted to know where they were living, the power housing is typically the answer because it's warm and it's nice and you know, they feel safe in there. So yeah, so we'll take the top part and throw that in the water over there. Whew, boy. And then we'll take this and take that out, take the bottom and throw that in the water as well. Has anyone kept count of the cockroaches so far? I think we've had 100, if not more. Yeah, this is fun. We're just gonna. You know what? I am going to get a vacuum and take that stuff because, just to show you, disconnect this. You can see the floor here as well. Yeah. So there's that one. That's clean. So yeah, I'm gonna get a vacuum, try to get some of this stuff out of the way, and then I'll be back. Okay, now that most of that's done, we can blow some more cockroach pieces in the air. So okay, and then we'll clean that with some isopropyl alcohol as well and put that to the side. That's pretty much it for this one. I'm gonna put this aside and get on with the next one. And we might as well do the hard disk. So let's close this off, get the compressed air. Go. And then we'll go over that as well. Jesus, look at that. It's crazy. So that's as good as I can get that. Put that away as well. And let's do the power connector. That's pretty much as good as I will get that one. So we'll throw that to the side as well. Ooh, boy. And now let's see if we can get to the disk drive here and open that up as well. So I'm going to need a Phillips screwdriver. To take that screw off. And then there's 2 screws on the side here as well. This up. Missing any screws? Oh, of course, this one right here. There we go. All right. Well, came with a game. Seems like it's Family Guy. So that's a bonus. Got a free game. But yeah, we'll throw that in the water. Whoo boy. And yeah. So Disc 2, Volume 3 of Family Guy. So that was in there. So let's oh boy. We'll get that out. See if I remember how we did that. Remember how that was being done. So instead, I'm just gonna take the whole thing apart. I have to do that anyways. So these 2 screws at the sides here. That. Take this off first, like so. Let's slide the whole thing out. Put that in the water. Get the ribbon cables. Like so. Throw that in the water. Oh boy. There's a piece of plastic, that's always good. Love that. Okay, there we go. So got that out. Got the insides here. And we have the disc, which appears to be in a good condition, everything considered. That's so not a game, but you know, the series itself. So I'll put that over there, and then yeah, we'll throw this entire thing here in the water. Oh god. And we'll throw that in there as well. And we'll take compressed air and clean this off. But first, I actually need to get more water because, to show you here, that's not even halfway there, and it's just, yeah. Well, it's actually been a day since the last cut because I actually had to go to work. I expected this to be a relatively short video. I was just going to take it apart and, you know, do some quick cleaning and teach you how to do it. And well, this happened. So I'm just going to start off where I left off and cleaning this off. So take our little data vac cleaner here. It's going to blow all this dust out. Well, that didn't take as much as I wanted, to be honest. I mean, look at that, and over here, and there, and yeah, so this is going to be another long Q-tip session. So, I better get started. Okay, so I've cleaned this up pretty much as I can. I've taken away the cogs and put those over in the water to soak. But because of that, this whole assembly here is loose. So there's pretty much nothing holding it in place. So because of that, I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to flip it over, but I'm going to put it somewhere else. So, put that over there, and then let's do this one now. That should be a lot easier. So again, we'll just take some Q-tip and some isopropyl alcohol and just rub all over this, get all the gunk off. Nice. So that's not what a circuit board is supposed to be looking at. And you'd never know this from looking at it before, but it's supposed to be white. So we'll just keep going. this back together again. Yep, and then the screws, and then we can put this to the side and move on to the next project. And we might as well just take this cord right here, clean that up. So for that one, I think I'm just going to use paper towel and then rub that over. I think that's going to be the easiest way of cleaning this cord here, but it looks like I might have to use a Q-tip regardless, just to get in between the cords. You can see how, you know, the middle is still gunked up. So yeah. Yep. Okay, so I think that's as good as I can get this, because frankly I'm getting tired. I was expecting this to be a short video, as I said, and then this happened. So put that over there, and then move on to the next piece, which let's do these so that we can get those out of the way as well. So yeah, that's so heavily corroded that I'm going to need some stronger stuff here. So there we go. Got some white distilled vinegar. So let's see if that'll at least loosen some of it up. So we're just gonna take this. Well, that is having an effect, so I am going to make a little canister of that. So give me a little moment and I will be right back. Okay, so there we go. Drop these in here where you can sit and think about all the things they've done wrong in their life, contemplate their fate. So we're going to leave that in there and then move on to the next project. Okay, and I guess we'll just have to bite the bullet and do the fan assembly here, which I am not looking forward to, because that is nasty as all get out, but has to be done. So let's see what we can do. I am going to say myself happy with this. There's still residue left on it, but it is a lot better than what it originally was. And there's, you know, I might go back to this in the future and do another cleaning on it, and it'll be easier at that point to go over the pieces that are still left. But you can see here how there's still some discoloration, and that's caused from the Q-tip as you're cleaning. You know, the Q-tip gets dirty and it starts to smear stuff around, but the big chunks are gone. This is basically just discoloration at this point, and I've spent, I don't know, an hour or so on this, so I am moving on. So next project is going to be the heat sink here, and yeah. Gotta love it. So again, I am still using a breathing mask because especially if you find any cockroaches, you immediately want to get your breathing mask because their fecal matter and urine and all of that, it's granulate and it's going to go in the air, it's going to go into your lungs, and you do not want to breathe cockroaches. So, Jesus, look at this. This is just unbelievable. But this is the final hurdle, and then afterwards I can go take care of the stuff over there. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and get it over with. There you go. And I keep going on about this, but there's a reason why. If I had cans of compressed air trying to get this stuff out, this would take me days. I mean, this gives you such a power and such a, blast that it actually makes this a lot easier. So get yourself one of those if you haven't already. Especially if you find a console like this, just throw away your cans of compressed air, just buy one of those right away. You're gonna thank me later. But anyways, let's go to this one. Whew. I wish the breathing mask did something about the smell. That would be nice. Okay, well, this is as clean as I'll get this. Basically, all of these spots are rust spots, but took off the thermal paste and cleaned every piece up. Also cleaned these, and actually noticed that I forgot this part, so I'll do that right away. There we go. So we'll put this to the side, and then we'll take a look at this. So we'll just take those out and get our toothbrush. So that's looking a lot better, at least. Here. Yeah, so a lot of it's coming off, which is good. I mean, it's not perfect, but that is a lot better than what it originally was. So I'm just going to keep this, because something tells me I'm going to need that again. And put that over by the water over here. then let's dry these up. And then let's clean up a little bit. I'll get my vacuum cleaner again. Okay, so I've decided to do this in units, so I'm going to do the disk drive first before I continue with the rest of the stuff over there. Just because there's a lot of pieces, and you know, putting it all back together again. I have a single unit that's easy to move back and forth, and also it helps to organize the screws and so on. I put all the little pieces over here, and then we got the rest of the assembly right here. So I'll go into a little bit better detail this time around than what I did when I was disassembling it, because quite honestly I couldn't think straight due to just the smell, and it was really bad. So it was a really crappy teardown, so hopefully this reassembly is going to be better. So before I lose my track of thought, let's just put it in. So we'll start with this piece right here that kind of looks like a motorcycle tire. And we're going to put that in, so it has the crosshairs up, because this piece is going to go on top of that peg. So we'll just pop that in, and then you can see here how those wheels are interacting with that spindle right there. And then the next we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, which is the smaller wheel, and you can see here it's pretty uniform. So you just pop that in place, and we're going to screw that in place with the tiny flat silver screw. You'll put a black screw here, so it helps to think black on black and then clear on clear. screw this in here just to hold that in place. Just like that. And then we'll take this piece and put it the small cog down, because that's going to interact with the radius right there. But in order to put it down, we're also going to engage this set of teeth here. So you just pull down on this lever on the side here, and that's going to release everything so that you can actually turn this piece around. So you can put it there to where the cog will actually, you know, get a grip on that unit right there. So I think we'll have to do it one more turn, maybe there. Yeah, that's good. So we don't want this to fall back down. And then, as I said, we'll take the black flat screw and put it in the black socket. And screw that down just like that. Next we're going to do is we're going to put the bottom casing on top of this and feed the cables through. So we just line this up, and it helps to take the pivot point right here, the little screw point, this outcrop, to put that through first, just like that, and then feed the cables. So if we do this, you might be able to see a little bit better. So let me just move that a little bit. And then we're going to feed the big thick cable at the top hole, and the other two are going to go through the bottom hole. So we're going to feed this through at the top right there, and the other two are going to go down through the bottom right here. So we just push those through, and then the actual disc cable is going to go through the center hole. So just like that. I need to give it a push from the other side here, just to get it all the way through. There we go. And then just pop that down. Make sure you have all the cables. We'll put the screw here, and that screw is the smaller screw. You'll have 4 longer screws and then a shorter one. And we're going to put the shorter one right down in the middle there. There we go. Now that this is secure on, we can arrange the cables. So this cable right here, the thinner one, is going to go over the copper one, and you can see the copper has a little hole in it, and that's for a peg that is right here. So you just take the cable, push it under the outcrop, and put the peg through the hole. Once you have that, so there you go, and like that. So just to give you a better view here, you can see how those 2 pegs are holding it down, and then that hole has that center peg going through it. Take the shorter or the thinner cable here, and we'll just put that to the side like so. Take it under that wing if you want, just to hold it in place. And then we'll wrap this thicker cable through those 2 pegs right there, and then lock the whole thing in place with this. That'll keep everything nice and organized. And then you can see here how it has these little like L-shaped feet, which will go into these holes. So just align that. There we go. And then just push that in. and it's gonna be held in place once you have it properly aligned. Now I can take this whole unit, flip over, and we're gonna take the last cog and put it over on the corner right here. And it only goes down one way, so if you try to put it the wrong way, it's not going to fall down. So that's easy enough. Then we're going to take the top piece here, flip over, and it's going to have its two sockets right here. It's going to lock into place. So we'll just push that down, just like that. And then you can see how those snap into place. And then we'll also take this piece, put it if you think of it as the top hat part should be going down. And then we'll move this arm so that it grabs hold of that. So just like that. There we go. And that's in place. There we go. And then we'll screw this in place as well. So we're going to take two of these screws, put on the side. These are the longer screws. And you might need to pinch the corner just to get a hole and a grip for that screw. And then do the same on this corner right here. And make sure that everything's working, which it is. And sometimes you'll also feel how everything just kind of connects once you start moving stuff around. So anything that was out of alignment should now be in alignment. Then we'll take the final piece, just slide that over, just like that. Let it lock onto the sides here. And then screw that in place. And the last two long screws that you have are going to go on the sides. And then the final screw, which is a much wider silver flat screw than the first one, that is going to go into this socket right here. And then after that, this whole thing is put together and we can put it to the side and then continue with the rest. This screw can be a little tricky since it's wider than it's actually long. So sometimes it's hard to get it to sit properly. There we go. And then just screw that in place. And there you go. So that's the disk drive reassembled. And I can now put this to the side and then focus on the rest. Okay, so the time has finally come to put everything back together again, and I found out where that plastic piece from earlier was missing, because there's another similar piece that had broken off in the water when I was washing it, and it is right here on the back where the power circuit comes in. There's supposed to be 2 taps. So basically these things right here would be standing up just like that on either side. So I'm going to super glue those in place. And then I also noticed, where was it? Over here, I think, yeah, that this piece has broken as well. So I'm going to glue that up. And I think that is that. So I'm just going to glue both of those pieces up right now. And then I'm also going to take just a Q-tip and get rid of some of that excess glue. So just got to be a little fast before it dries completely. And then just like that. And of course, after a while, the glue is going to take some of the Q-tip as well, so that's why you want to work fast. So just like that, and then that'll heal up nicely over time. And then we'll take the other pieces here. I'll move this out of the way so it's a little easier to see here. So I'm going to glue the legs on over here. So I'm just going to start by putting some glue right down here. And then that's going to be this piece, which is going to go right there. Let's see if we can get that to sit where it needs to be. You can use the tweezer, it's a little easier just to get that properly aligned, which I think is good right there. And then again, we'll just take the Q-tip, just gently wipe off any excess, especially on the inside, because that's where the power is going to go, and we don't want that to stick. So just like that. And I noticed that this piece right here is also loose, so I'm just gonna nudge that a little to the side here so I can get a drop right there, which will seal that. And then take the final piece right there, and then again just use the tweezer to kind of get a better grip in here. That's gonna sit just about there. That looks good. And then of course just wipe the excess off. Just like that. If there's any hairs, we can just use the tweezers to get rid of that. Just like that. And that should be pretty much good to go. So I'll continue putting everything back together again, and as I said earlier, I'll do a little better job explaining how it's all set together from this point on, because yeah, the fumes and everything earlier, just I wasn't thinking straight. So you know, hopefully you enjoyed the ride to this point, but from now on we'll go a little bit more into detail and explain how everything's put together. So I've laid everything out, organized everything, makes it a lot easier to put everything back together again. First thing I'm going to do at this point is to put together the power housing. That way we have a single unit instead of multiple parts, makes it a lot easier in the end, just like with the disk drive. So the first thing you want to do is take the bottom piece, and of course it has the cutout here for those 2 pin connectors from the motherboard. So of course they're going to be connected through these, so you just line those up so that it fits, just like that. Just pop that in, and then you take the top part here and we'll align that as well so that the screw points match up on all sides. And if you remember, it has these row of connectors on the back here, so you want to make sure that we get those in first, and then we'll just flip this over when we have it aligned. So there we go, and then we'll close the whole thing, and then make sure that we have the pins connected on the back right here. And then we're going to screw that together, and it's going to be the big clear screw that's going to go in here. So the clear or silver screw, just make sure it's the biggest one that you have left at this point, just like that. And now we have another single unit here, so we'll put that over here for now. Okay, so a couple of days have gone by. I ordered one of these, which is the hard disk drive cover that was missing. This cost me like, I think it was $4 from eBay. So now we have all the pieces that we need in order to put everything back together. And next part is going to be the motherboard. We're going to make a little motherboard sandwich in between those heat sinks. But before we do that, we have to reapply thermal paste on the GPU and CPU, which isn't very difficult. This is just a thermal paste. So you just squirt that on. And you want to try to get a little bit of everywhere, because you want to have a pretty consistent thickness throughout. And just notice that I got some of it down here. Not that it matters, but you know, I like to keep it tidy. And then we got our little scraper here, so we'll just try and make everything look nice and get an even coverage. So I'll just fast forward as I'm doing this, but basically you're just applying that throughout. And then we'll just clean this off and take any excess off the sides. There we go. Now that we have the layer of thermal paste covered evenly all the areas, we're going to take the piece that has the fan assembly on it. We'll just flip that over, and then take this and flip that over as well, so we have the outputs going through these little holes right here. And then make sure that we try to push it down as straight as possible so we don't smear the thermal paste. Like that, and then just plop that down. And then we'll take the actual bottom piece here and align that properly so that the rectangular hole right here fits with the rectangular hole over here. And we'll just plop that straight down. So just like that. And then we can screw these pieces together, and we're going to start with the heat sinks, which are these pieces right here. And you want the curvature to go down and push. So it's going to be this way, and then this is going to be like this right here. And it's going to be the funky looking screws, so these guys right here. There we go. Next we're going to screw in the screws around the perimeter here. And that is going to be these guys right here, these silver screws. And you just follow the arrows. Let me move this out here so you can actually see what I'm doing. But there are arrows all over the bottom here, which indicates where you're supposed to screw these screws down. So there's going to be one right here. And then just to show you here, so you can see right here there's a little arrow pointing you towards the hole, and there's going to be arrows like that all over the bottom here, indicating where those screws should go. So it's a fairly easy design. All PlayStation machines are set up like this, so Sony really do know what they're doing, and they make it easy to put stuff back together again. Now that we have the motherboard sandwich ready, we can get the bottom case. Okay, after we've made the sandwich, we're going to put it into its casing here, but before we do, we need to put these two in, and the first one is going to go over on the side here. So if you see right here, there is two little gaps right here that's going to hold this in place. So we just slide that in between those two, like so. You can see how it's being held together at the top here, and then the screw points are visible right there. The next is going to be this little guy, which is going to go on the side over here, and it has these two wings right here on the side, these little guys right there. They're going to go in between these two points on the side here, and then these little feet here are going to go into that crack over on the side. So when we line that up like so, let's see here if I can get it moving there correctly. There we go. So when we have it correctly, you will see here that the wings are being held together by those 2 feet, and then these feet are in the back row here, and this isn't moving anywhere. So with that in place, we can then put in the actual sandwich, and flip this around this way so that you can see where the outputs are, and of course that's going to be where the outputs are on this. So we'll just point those through there, and then gently put this down like so. There we go. And then that's being secured down. We'll also take the power button over here and put that in. So that's this little guy. And I'll flip this over here. And these are the feet that I super glued in place. And those are going to connect with the sides here and just kind of hold that in place. So I'll have to be a little gentle here because, you know, this is just super glued in. But basically we take the power part and slide that in first, and then we just push down on the back, and that should click into place. And if we're lucky, it's not going to break off the legs. So, perfect. There we go. Then take the power cord and wrap that around right there. So you can see here how that little arm is holding the power cord to the side. And then of course this is out here and none of the legs have broken. So bonus. Now that we have that in place, we're going to screw the motherboard into the bottom of the case. And to do that, we are going to use the 3 smallest black screws. And then we're going to have one over here. That, and then we're going to have one over here on the side, and then the last one's going to go over in this screw or this little corner over here. There we go. And now that we have that in place, we can take the fan here and put that together. So we just drop that in. And at this point we're going to use the bigger black screws. So we have 3 of those as well, but we're only going to use 2 right now. And then we'll take this ribbon cable here, feed it through this loop and through this little canal and down to this socket right here. So just like that, and then through the little loop here and into its socket. There we go. It's easy enough. We'll also take these 2 little screws here, these silver screws. Those are going to go on the side right here. So I think I'm going to use the precision screwdriver for that. Let's see. There's my tweezers. The screws disappeared. There we go. And there you go. The next is going to be these black and white cables going over here, which are these 2 guys. The black cable is going to go on the furthest corner. So we're just going to slide that over here. And these have little pegs that'll go through that second hole and keep this in line, just like that. And then we'll take the 2 smaller screws, the same screws as over here, and we're going to screw this down, just like that. And then we'll take these cables and we'll wrap them around. Now the first area here is kind of hard to see, but there's a little divot right there, and then you can see here there's a gap. So we're going to take it first behind this little gap, and then underneath that, going around this little curve right here, underneath this one. So now you can see how it's starting to wrap together here. And I'll just take it through here and under this one and around, so around there, and then underneath right here and through. And then this is going to go, the black is going to go on the furthest one, the white's going to go on the closest one. So let me just put this down so I get both hands to use. So again, just put this through here and around, and then we'll just gently put this down. You want to have this perfectly aligned before you put it down, because otherwise you could, you know, do some wrong things. So there we go, that's one down. And then the white's gonna go over here, just like that. Make sure we have the cords wrapped. So just like that. Perfect. So now that we have all of this in place, we can start by setting up for the next step, which is going to be the disk drive and the power and eject button. So this is going to go over on the side here, just like that. And then of course this cable is going to go through here as well and connect to this little socket right there. So just like that. And then move this so that we can get the disk drive. The disk drive is a little bit more tricky because this tiny little one here that's going to go in the bottom, it can be tricky to get that to properly sit. Just remember to pull up on this connector right here to unlock it. And then we're going to start by putting this down. Hope for the best, because this can be really, really tricky. And often, more times than not, you'll push that down and you have to start again. So let's see here. Another attempt. There we go, push down. Now, I can't really show you what I'm doing here. You just have to do your best to get it to align. And then just pop it down. Now, this side right here is going to be a little tricky because you need to do all of this and set it up, since this ribbon cable is underneath, but then these feet should be under here again. So that's why there's a long ribbon cable on this, because you have to take it out and then put this down. Make sure that it's not crimping anything. So let's see here, we'll just hold this to the side here. So there we go. And then put that down. There we go. So, perfect. And then we'll take this and feed it over again. So it's a little tricky because you can kind of go back and forth between these two. But once you have it properly aligned, you should then be able to have the ribbon cables out here and connect those to their corresponding connectors. Again, just push them straight in. There we go. And then screw this down, and that's going to be another black screw. So same screw as these. And with that in place, we can then finally do the power. But before we do, we're just going to take this and set that up. So we'll, let's see here. Yeah, I think that would be the best way. So we're going to put this in first, just because it's kind of hard to get to it otherwise. And then pop this whole thing down. Make sure we don't pinch any. As for this cable over here, there's a little cutout where that's going to fit in. So just make sure that you're aligning that as well as you're putting it all down. And then of course you got the pins right here, so you do have to push down a little bit in order for it to fit. So just like that. And then we're going to take the two screws that have that little ring around it, and those are going to screw down the power brick here. There we go. And then connect the cables. There we go. And with that in place, we can then take the lid here and put it all together. And let's see, just make sure that, yeah. Yep. So we'll do the front first, just like that, and then put it towards the back. Make sure we're not pinching anything, which it kind of feels like I'm doing. So let's try that again. There we go, and then flip that over, and we'll do the 4 Torx screws here, which are these guys, so we'll do those first. And we'll put the hard disk in. And then flip down the handle. Put our newly purchased bay in here, and it's going to slide a little bit here, so you just put it in first like so, and then you can see here that it's a little to the left, so just slide that to the right, and then that's going to connect with this hole right here, which we're then going to take the blue screw and screw everything together here. just like that. And then take all the screws around the perimeter, put that together. There we go, and then finish off by putting these covers on. And then finally, we'll do the Pledge Orange Clean, and then just wipe this down. Okay, so there you go. That's all cleaned up. Has the cover right here, so it looks a lot better than, well, it looks phenomenal compared to how it was when I got it. Just looking at the outside, I mean, you can tell that it's definitely been used. There's some scuff marks all around it. You know, especially like here, but it looks amazing compared to what it was. So the final question now is, will this actually work? So fingers crossed, and let's fire it up. Okay, so you can see here I've hooked it up. Got a HDMI going straight to the TV's HDMI 2 port, and you can see all my boxes in the background. But more importantly, it's showing the red standby light, which tells me it is getting power, so it gives me some hope. But let's see what happens if I try to switch it on. Yeah. So as you could probably see, there was a tiny little glimmer of green light, and then it just died. What that tells me is that there's something with the fan, because I didn't hear the fan starting up, and so it's shutting itself off because it don't want to overheat. If the fan isn't going, there's a fail-safe that causes it to just shut down. So I will have to take a closer look at the fan assembly, make sure that it's actually getting power, and figure out what's going on there. But that's the problem right now. So I've been playing around a little bit with the fan and everything. The fan seems to be fine, but I managed to localize the problem to the power supply. So what I had to do is, you have these potentiometers right here that you can control using just a Phillips screwdriver. And basically what these do is they control the voltage throughout your PS3. And you'll have to tweak them a little back and forth, but basically what I did is you can turn these about 180 degrees in total. So what I did was I basically just put it in the center, figuring that the center would be pretty much the the standard, the default. That way you can tweak it up and down, and that actually seemed to be what was wrong. So I don't know if if I touched them during the cleaning, or if they just were misaligned, or if something changed, or whatever it is. But basically I just put them towards the middle of their rotation area, which is also conveniently marked so that this tap right here is straight up on this and then straight down on the other one. Now it has to be said that each power supply is different. This is the 270, I believe. Yeah, it's the APS 270. So different models, different series will have a different model power source. So it could be different. Okay, so I've set everything up again, and just to show you how, like, normally don't do this unless you know what you're doing, because chances of electrocution is very high. But you can see those potentiometers on the back there, and then you can also see it's got power and everything's hooked up. So we're gonna fire it up, and then you'll see here that it turns green, and hopefully it'll also send a signal. There you go. So so far so good. And you'll see the fan is spinning as well, or at least you might be able to hear it. And there you go. So yeah, the clock is a little off, but yeah. So we've brought one more console back from the dead. Again, thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, of course, give it a like, subscribe. There'll be more videos like this in the future as well. And again, thank you so much for watching. You guys have an amazing day. Thank you.